I have received some good news. Well, kind of. I'll explain. I did hear back from Dr. Walsh's office, and my CA-125 has already come back. It was really quick. It was like a couple of hours turnaround. It did come back, and I got a number or a rating of 12, which the lady on the phone told me was really, really good. That sounds low to me. I do need to, I need to go look and see what that means. But as I understand it, that is a low number, and the lower the better. So, awesome sauce. There is still one more part of this Dr. Walsh visit that I have to take care of. It is the transvaginal ultrasound, which I have set up. I've made an appointment for 10 days away, and I have to go in super early in the morning, and it takes like an hour and a half to do. I had no idea it was going to be like, you know, this big, but after I get the results back from that, fingers crossed that everything is fine, then I can kind of breathe a sigh of relief. Now, as far as what I said before about this being good news and maybe not, when I spoke to Dr. Walsh during the appointment, she told me that, you know, these screening tools are not, sometimes depending on the situation, they're not incredibly accurate. It really does depend on the patient and the situation, and whether or not there is already cancer present. So they can be quite inaccurate. It's not great news, but I guess I'm thinking, I feel about this just getting through the initial CA-125 blood test and getting through this initial ultrasound, like, to me, that's setting up a baseline and something that we can work from here on out. So I will be seeing her in 6 months again. I think I mentioned before with Dr. Walsh, this is going to be a biannual screening. So, you know, I mean, I don't really know what else to do at this juncture. I don't know. I'll keep an ear out, and I'm completely open-minded as far as like trials and experimental screening tools. So, you know, and I will talk to her at that time when I see her in 6 months if something does pop up in the meantime, and I can be like, Dr. Walsh, what about this one? And we can talk about that then. But as far as these two tools go, you know, I'm going through the process, and I'm just gonna get through this and be a good little patient and do what they tell me to do. Okay, so you see this? See that? You can't see it. Yeah, you can. Look at that. Stress. I'm stressing out. I shot a video last night, and I'm not gonna use it, but I'll give you the gist. I was kept awake, laying awake, stressing about just the state of things recently. I've been having some issues with insurance. I'll take the time to go over that in another video. There's just too much to it, and I don't know at this moment how it's all going to turn out. Hopefully, fingers crossed for the best, because I'll be screwed. And also, the big thing that I was really stressing out about last night, I have this ultrasound coming up. It's a transvaginal ultrasound. Dr. Walsh ordered it for me. It's a big deal, guys. It's a big deal. I have to go to Cedars Imaging Center at like 5:30 in the morning on Monday morning, and I don't know, crawl into a vaginal ultrasound machine. I don't even know how it works. But the thing takes an hour and a half to do, and as soon as I made the appointment, like the pit of my stomach was just balled up, just anxious and scared. I'm scared because the last time that I did an ultrasound screening, 2 days later, I was told I had cancer. So I was afraid. And so that was keeping me up. And I mentioned that I was considering canceling the appointment. There were some other factors to that. Again, with the insurance, I'm being charged by physicians and a second charge by the facility, which they can do because they're so big. It's Cedars. It's a huge hospital, and because of some tax loophole or something, they're allowed to do it. So I'm ending up having to pay these copays that I wasn't expecting to have to pay. Whatever. Anyway, so I could not verify. I've been trying since I made the appointment. I have been trying and calling every billing department. I swear to God, I have talked to every billing department on the Cedars lot, and nobody knows what I'm talking about, or nobody seems to be able to just give me the answer that I'm looking for. I'm just trying to get a straight answer on this. I'm just trying to find the tax ID number specifically for the imaging center. That's all I need. The tax ID number for the imaging center, so that I can verify with my insurance that I am covered in that specific facility. That's it. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Nobody knows the answer. They keep passing me off and placing me on hold and hanging up on me, and it's just gotten to the point that I'm so frustrated that I can't deal with it anymore. So because I can't verify that information, I'm not going to go to the appointment. So that's what I was talking about last night. Today, I woke up and I did cancel that appointment. As soon as I did, I felt immediate relief and immediate regret. I'm a conundrum, I know. I think I mentioned before that I am incredibly emotional post-surgery. The weirdest things set me off. And today I had a day. I had a hard day at work. I was able to cover it up though. Nobody knew, but I had a major meltdown in the parking lot. And it's silly now, but I just let things get to me. It was the regret. Of course, I felt the relief after canceling the appointment, but the regret that I felt after canceling the appointment is because that's what a stupid person would do. If you know you're prone to cancer, you're at a higher risk, and you cancel your first screening, the screening that will give you your baseline, that starts all this off, kicks it all off. Come on, man. Like, I don't know. And the last screening that I had, yes, it was bad news to get 2 days later, but they were able to tell me early enough that I could take care of it, and I didn't need chemo. I didn't need treatment. I caught it. Breathe. So, anyway, dealing with that regret, dealing with that relief, dealing with those opposing emotions. Then I get a call from Cedars. I actually missed it, but I see it, on my missed calls in a voicemail from Cedars. I've got Cedars saved under the main number. And it was actually a call from Dr. Walsh. And I'm like, oh, great. Okay, she's calling me like, why did you cancel the ultrasound, you dummy? No, she was just calling to let me know that she was prescribing and sending the request for my birth control over to my pharmacy. The reason that I want to start taking birth control has nothing to do with what it usually has to do with. If you take birth control for a certain number of years, it actually decreases your chance of getting ovarian cancer. So I do want to get on that regimen. That I can take. Sure. Okay, great. So I got that call. Fine. Got that straightened out. And then I get another call from Cedars, and it's Dr. Chung's office. Dr. Chung was my breast surgeon. Dr. Chung saved my life. Dr. Chung was the one who told me I had cancer. Well, it's her office, and she wants to set up a follow-up, which is very cool. That's very cool. She just wants to see me for a second, wants me to stop in, see how I'm doing, make sure everything's okay. Of course, the breast surgeon of a major surgery like this is going to want to see you one more time as a follow-up and just make sure all is well. And I'm fighting it. I'm fighting going in because there's so many emotions wrapped up with seeing her. Like, I'm so grateful, of course, and at the same time, like, just saying her name reminds me of that horrible, I've never felt so horrible, so distressed in my life as that moment that she told me. It's like seeing an ex or something that you were madly in love with, seeing them years later, or something like that feeling, you know, that just complex feeling of emotions, and everything is. So I stalled making the follow-up appointment. I've calmed down. Here's what's going to happen. I am going to make the follow-up appointment. I'm going to go and, like, write the end of that story. I want to tie it all up before the end of the year. I am going to take care of that because I have other things to focus on in the new year. I have bigger fish to fry in the new year, so I'm going to tie it up with her. I'm going to tell her absolutely how grateful I am. I do want to see her. Of course, I want to see her one last time, just to thank her, just to give her a hug. And, you know, if I get emotional, whatever, I get emotional. It is completely natural. I was just thinking, you know, in all the videos that I watched, nobody talked about this butting of heads of emotions. I realize that we are all human beings and we are all complex creatures. I realize that. And sometimes our emotions do not make sense. And sometimes our emotions get the best of us. And in situations like this that are just larger than life, nobody told me that, nobody warned me that I might feel this way, that I would have emotions I wouldn't know how to explain. I've never felt them before. I'm just going to ride with it. I'm going to ride through this, and it's got to be okay. I've just got to be okay with it. I don't know, dudes. I guess what I really want to say here, or your takeaway from this, is if you are going through this process and you're dealing with emotions that you don't know how to deal with, and situations that you don't know how to deal with, and new appointments that you don't want to go to, you're not alone. Absolutely, you're not alone. I'm not alone. I can't be the only one out here. So that's it. Just venting, just letting off some steam here. So that's all for now.